motivation. Watch top 10 rules with Akshay Verma.
Top 10, I got a top 10. Got my motivation high for my top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men. All my life, like 9 to the 9. For my top 10, top 10, 9 to the 9. This one's for my top 10. Top 10, I got a top 10. Got my motivation high for my top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men. All my life, like 9 to the 9. For my top 10, 9 to the 9. This one's for my top 10.
What makes you such a good fighter?
I don't know, I'm just curious about it. It's never, I mean, it's in my head 24/7. There's nothing else I can think. I don't think about nothing else. And that's it. I'm just curiously fascinated with it, and I can't stop thinking about it. Everything I do in my life is related to this. I don't do nothing else if it's not got to do with fighting. You know what I mean? And that is why. You know what I mean? To be true,
Is that nearly-
all you've got to do is show up.
Is that not unhealthy?
I don't know. Do I look unhealthy? Take a look at this physique. I'm in phenomenal shape, in body and mind. To me, what's unhealthy is living an unhealthy life. To me, what's unhealthy is getting up and going through the same day every day of your life, 9 to 5, in an office or in a, you know what I mean? That's unhealthy. That beats your mind. I don't work. I love what I do, and that's why I'm doing what I love. You know what I mean? That's why it's become a career for me, because I love it. I love what I do. So I don't think it's unhealthy. I feel good in my mind. You know what I mean? It's my life. You stare at your past and you'll end up staying there. It's okay to look back and admire it, but you carry on. I'm not in the business of staring back at it. You know what I mean? And getting lost back there. People say a loss can make or break a fighter, but trust me, a win can also make or break a fighter, because they get comfortable with a win. People can get comfortable with a win, and slack off then. Slack off on the training, slack off on the diet. They've won one. They're winners now. That's not me, you know. You sleep on a win and you'll wake up with a loss. So I just carry on. Keep doing what I'm doing. And that's why this turnaround is so good for me. Vegas, straight away. The Fighting Irish head to the fighting capital. It's perfect. Continue on this path. The freight train straight to the top. If you can see it here, and you have the courage enough to speak it, it will happen. So I see these shots, I see these sequences, and I don't shy away from them. A lot of times people believe in certain things, but they keep to themselves. They don't put it out there. If you truly believe in it, if you become vocal with it, you are creating that law of attraction, and it will become reality. I knew he would overextend, and I knew I'd catch him. So Mystic Mac strikes again. I'm enjoying the fruits of my hard work. Nobody works harder than me inside the octagon, outside the octagon. I am a workhorse, so I am going to enjoy the benefits of this life. I am going to get myself a big mansion in Las Vegas. I'm going to get the soft top cars. I'm going to bring my whole team out. I'm going to spoil them and give them this life. Big steaks that size. We're eating every single night each. We're eating good. We're living good. It's human nature. Some people will sit and take positivity from that. They will look at that and take inspiration and inspire. It will inspire them to go and push for that. Others will shell up and critique it and be negative towards it. But one thing is for sure, those people will stay where they are. The people who take inspiration from it will rise up and also one day experience that life. So this is human nature. Some go one way, some go the other way. But I am enjoying my money, my hard-earned money that I have dedicated my life to.
Did you ever have, let's call it a normal job, Conor, a 9 to 5?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the Irish thing is to get into a trade straight away. I was no different. As soon as I finished school, I was always getting pestered. What are you doing with your life? You're doing this, doing that. They didn't know what it was. They didn't know what MMA was. They didn't know what none of this. They didn't know I could make a career out of it. As far as they were concerned, my man, dad, I'm talking about. As far as they were concerned, I was just getting into a cage and fighting with some other guy. They didn't know nothing about it. No one did really, but I knew. You know what I mean? I knew. But and then I ended up getting a trade just to keep them quiet. Because I used to have a lot of fights with my dad.
What trade did you get?
I ended up getting a trade as a plumber. Literally up in the back arse of nowhere, up in the Wicklow Mountains. And funny enough, that site was one of the biggest sites in Europe. Kiltiernan. It was right at that skiing place. Huge. And now it's just abandoned. Now it's just deserted. So I used to go up there 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. I was on that M50. I used to have to walk to the N4. About half an hour from my house, wait for some Limerick guy that I didn't even know. He'd drive on the M4 and I'd have to flag him down. Nightmare, yeah. 2 hours down on the M50, 2 hours back. Literally 14-hour days, and I was the first year, so I had to go and do everything. I had to go to the shop. I had to go and get this and get that. So I always had trouble with that, and I was like, this isn't for me. This is not for me.
How long did you last?
I lasted 18 months doing it, but it was tough, you know what I mean? It wasn't the life for me, you know what I mean? And then John said, because I was training with John as well at the time. And then John got in touch and says, I have a show, I'm running a show, I'd like to fight on it. And then that was it. I just packed it in, didn't show up. My dad used to come in and punch the head out of me and like try and drag me out of bed. And I just wouldn't go, you know what I mean? I had uproar for a good few years with him over it. And that was it. I just packed it in, quit, and then focused on training. And I knew what was going to happen. I knew I was going to get here. They didn't. There's a lot of stressful years, you know what I mean? A lot of tough times. But I proved them wrong. I proved myself right. Every gym I went to was always, they had that set way. Every gym had that set way of doing things. Don't do it this way, do it that way. So that was just a normal thing that I thought just people just have their own set way and you must do it that way. You must stand this way, you must kick this way, you must punch this way. But with John, when I went to John, and I met my coach John Cavanagh at Straight Blast Gym, it wasn't like that. He had a more open mind and he encouraged different movements. And I'd never experienced that before. I'd never heard a coach say that to me before. And that stuck in my head. I thought to myself, you know, this guy is thinking outside the box. You know what I mean? That he has a vision that everything works and he encourages every movement because ultimately there is a time and a place for every single move. So I just knew when I met John and when he spoke, it made complete sense to me, and that was it. I stuck with him, and he stuck with me, and the rest is history. And gratitude is one of the most strongest forms of power in attracting good things. You know, if you truly feel grateful for the things in your life, I always felt grateful for even the small things. I always used to celebrate the small things. Now I might be celebrating the bigger things, but I always celebrate every little good thing that would happen to me in my life. Even before I had any kind of money or any of that, I would celebrate and I would feel grateful for it, and it just gave me more. And this is exactly the same thing that's happening right now. I still remain grateful, and more comes. Of course I am familiar with Muhammad Ali. You don't just have him here. He is global. He is the man. Muhammad Ali was a guy that done what had not been done before. Changed the face, not only the face of his game, but the face of the world. You know, he was outspoken. He fought for what he believed in, and that he was charismatic. He was a legend, a hero, and I looked up to him. One of my first heroes was Muhammad Ali. When I was 11 years old, there was a group of people and they tried to attack me, and a fight broke out, and it was just me and one guy before everyone else jumped in on me. But we were fighting each other, and I slipped a punch, and I shuffled my shoulders and said Muhammad Ali and threw a shot. And he rolled under the shot but fell into a knee, and I ended up on top of him. So I'm at the calling myself Muhammad Ali, and I'm punching him in the head, and then somebody came in and tried to kick me, and then a whole group of them came in, and it was just a big fight, but it was me against 6 of them, and I ended up getting my ass whooped. But
for that first guy, you whipped him out, and you said Muhammad Ali.
I done the Ali shuffle. I'm only 11 years old. I done the Ali shuffle, threw a left hook. He rolled under the left hook, which it was good of him to roll. He saw it coming and rolled under it, but he rolled right into a knee. Yeah, I was prepared. I was studying tape. So so definitely Muhammad Ali was a hero of mine. I don't like to think too far ahead.
So you haven't thought alternative careers?
No, I don't like thinking too far ahead. People set like goals, long distance goals and shit. That's too much for me. I already feel like I'm living it. And then I just carry on doing that, you know, carry on day by day, already living the final goal, the goal of being the world champion. I already carry myself like I'm a world champion. I already speak like I'm a world champion. And that's it. I just carry on day by day. So I'll take it as it comes. Again, like I said, you were asking me about the future. I'll let you know a little bit closer. You know what I mean? As far, all I can see right now is the gold. That's all I can see.
Realize how it feels to be there and to have that.
Just like use my imagination, like a kid would use his imagination. I was basically just using my imagination, driving a little my girlfriend's car, a little Peugeot 206, and I was driving that, shaking down the road, and I visualised that. And I swear to God, sitting in the traffic and all, I visualised. I'm sitting here holding the steering wheel, visualising a brand new car and visualising good things in times of struggle. And that when you can do that, I think that really makes that law of attraction work. I think it really attracts to you more. You know what I mean? Because that is harder to do when you're in the struggle to visualise these things.
Top 10.